amplifiers, speakers in a DJ booth from a guy in my hometown that was leaving the profession to become a golf pro. That booth was my pride and joy, 100% homemade from 2x4s, plywood, and tons of matte black paint. I even had DJ Joe Bunn stenciled and painted on the front. I thought that thing was awesome. Over the years, the equipment changed. CDs replaced vinyl. I no longer needed the long top DJ booth to hold my turntables. Rack mount mixers and dual drawer CD players were cutting edge. Eventually, the industry standard became the Pioneer CDJ 1000s, and everyone started carrying them along with a mixer and a road case. Even today, with laptops replacing CDs, you still need a controller to truly mix the music, and they need a road case as well. So then what? You basically have three options. Set the case on a keyboard or X stand, set it up on the 6-foot or even worse, the 8-foot banquet table provided by the venue and pray they have a linen for it, or lastly, hide it all behind a facade. Eventually, I got tired of these options. In fact, I hated them. I wanted to look better standing up there in front of a crowd. So in 2016, one of my DJs, a fiberglass expert, and I started Vision DJ Designs and built the Command Center. We sold a small number across the US and Canada, but realized that it was impossible to keep up with orders using this design and material. We eventually had to shut it down. But now, after a year in the works, the mobile DJ booth from Bunn Gear is born. Introducing the Command Center. Made out of high-grade aluminum, this booth breaks down into 3 parts for easy transport in 2 carry bags using no tools. The top can hold any type of controller or turntable and mixer combo you have. The laptop stand is fully adjustable and can be used left, right, or center. Down low, you have a 19-inch rack from top to bottom to hold your mics, effects, or custom panels. We have even created the hook, which can be used to hold your microphone or headphones. This time, we thought of everything. This is the DJ booth that you guys have been waiting for.
From the heart of Kendall, Florida, it's Pass the Mic Podcast. Solutions for real-world problems with real-world people. And of course, those crazy people, too. And now, your host, Eddie G.
Welcome to Pass the Mic Podcast. That's right, we are here for another amazing episode. It is Thursday, 8 p.m., and I have the one and only, the man of all mans right here, the master of weddings, Mr. Joe Bunn himself from Bunn DJ, the Vault. I mean, this guy has so many businesses happening. It's incredible. He hasn't put his name on a helicopter like Donald Trump over there. What's up, Joe?
My man. What's up, Eddie G?
How's it going, man? How's it going?
It's going well. Well, you know, as well as it can in 2020. But, man, I can't complain too much because we're all going through it, I guess.
Yeah. What an honor to have you in the studio, man. I really appreciate you taking some time to bless us with your appearance here, man. Honestly, this is I think a really great thing for DJs to be able to see. And typically, I was saying it earlier, I don't know if you got to see the live, but well, actually, I don't think you did because there's a picture. Did we get the picture up? Do we have it ready? Were you able to get that?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna put this picture for you. Look, check this out. This is what Joe looked like 5
15
seconds
minutes ago. That's why I got eyeliner on.
So he sends me this picture. He's like, God, I gotta take this stuff off, bro. Very, very funny. But either way, about Joe, let me tell you, for you DJs who are hopping on right now, typically you would have to pay to see Joe. You would have to go to some seminar. You would have to be in the Vault. You'd have to be part of something in Joe's life in order to get that exclusivity. And he's giving it to us right now. So I really appreciate you. Thank you again for that. And
thanks for being, thanks for doing this. Thanks for having me on, man. I love the show, man. I've listened to when I can. I always tune in. So thanks for having me on.
Well, I appreciate that, man. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into some topics here.
Sure.
For the ones that are watching, can you describe who you are and what you're known for in the industry?
Yeah, so my name is Joe Bunn. Like he said, I live in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I think I'm probably known as a primarily, first and foremost, a multi-op DJ company owner, mobile DJ company owner, mostly specializing in weddings and private events, corporate events, things like that. And then I kind of grew over the past 10 years or so in the DJ community because I would speak at the DJ conferences, and I was writing for Disc Jockey News, and I would write for Mobile Beat, and then I parlayed that into what's called the DJ's Vault that Eddie mentioned a minute ago, and that's a membership community where we have 1,200 mobile DJs from all over the world as members. So that's really, now I guess that spread my notoriety, if you will, pretty much all across the world. I mean, it's pretty amazing to see members in there from Greece, Australia, Scotland, England, Trinidad. I mean, it really took off, Eddie, after we launched it in February of last year. And so I guess that's how most people know me. And then I also, as if I didn't have enough going on last year, launched a DJ booth company. And so we build aluminum DJ booths for mobile DJs. It's called Bunn Gear. Bunn Gear, yeah. Of course.
We
Super
have a
creative
picture of that. So for you DJs out there, and anybody interested in this, restaurants, bars,
sexy
hotels, whatever the case may be, this is a great fixed system. It's a great mobile system. It's a great all-around system. I know that there may be imitators, but there's only one originator, and that's definitely DJ Joe Bunn.
My man, thank you.
There are some really great things that you did with that command center that I really, really love. We've talked about them, off air, off script. And I really want to say that, you did a phenomenal job, going into this, thinking of pretty much the DJ, you being out there. I think that's what a lot of companies forget. You have to be out there in the battle zone to know what you need, and really, there was some really great things. I know that there's some new advancements you have coming. Do you want to drop some breadcrumbs on this?
Some pre-teasers. But I agree with you, Eddie. I mean, I think that was the success of the DJ booth company and the success of the DJ's Vault are because, like you, I'm still out there doing shows. You know what I mean? Like, I don't send one of my 15, 16 guys out and just sit on the beach every weekend. There are some weekends I'm sitting on the beach as well as you are, but for the most part, you and I are still out there hauling gear, doing shows, behind the scenes, meeting and greeting, networking, doing things like this, spreading positivity, educating. I mean, that I think is the success of those two things, the Vault and the DJ booth. But yeah, so I think I've been, like I said, I was shooting videos all day today, as you saw, and I didn't check my email, but I'm pretty sure that we signed the deal today with the metal fabricator here in North Carolina. So the original 100 command centers were made in New Jersey, and they did an okay job. I'm happy with the product. Obviously, I'm sitting here staring at my black one and my white one right now, but I wanted to move it closer to home. And so we found somebody here that's going to manufacture them. And, for the most part, same design. It's not going to be really a 2.0. I would say more of a 1.5, just some minor changes, but pretty much as you see it at bunngear.com.
Awesome, man. I think a lot of DJs have taken it for granted. I mean, I just speaking on the outside, there's been DJs that are like, "Oh, it's too expensive, this and that," and I brought it down to them in a business fashion, right? So a lot of DJs have the artistry, but they don't have the business side of the DJ company, and I think that that's something that you've pivoted on, and a lot of other guys have learned that in order to be extremely successful in the mobile DJ world, you need to know both sides. The artistry is one thing, and Conflict said it the best when he was on the show. I was just replaying it earlier, and he definitely hit it right on the nose. I mean, get yourself a CPA. Talk about some of the things that you've never talked about to other DJs. Get informed. Really, honestly, get a book. Get whatever you need to do to get that education, because
I totally saw that episode. Yep. I was
it's
sitting
one
there.
thing.
My son, I was at my son's soccer game, and they won't let the parents, go on the field because of COVID or whatever. And so I was totally dialed in that whole episode.
I appreciate that, man. I really do. So yeah, I mean, look, you buy a facade, you buy the table, buy the scrim, and then all the other little things that you need. And by the time you're done, you've accumulated half the cost. And then after a couple months, that equipment is actually, the scrim's going to start to deteriorate, etc.
Yep.
The cases don't hold up. And if you got a Dragon board, it's pretty heavy. If you got an ADJ one, it's too light. It won't work outside. So there's some things, there's some pros and cons to it. But at the same time, if you want something that's going to be, make that fashion statement, be able to still see the DJ's hands, that drives me nuts. Like, I hate facades. I hate facades for the fact that you can't see the DJ's hands. Like, I want you to see that I'm really DJing.
Me too.
Pressing buttons.
We're brothers from another mother, man, for sure.
Oh,
I
man.
can't stand that. I'm like, I don't. I mean, not that I mean, I've seen you play, and I'm not nearly as
You've seen me play?
adept at Yeah, I have. It's online, not in real life. It had to be on. Yeah, it had to be on a video or something. Like I saw you. Like you're a scratch. You can scratch and stuff, right?
Yeah.
You're a good DJ. Like
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I'm really good at beat mixing, but like my scratches are not to be played in public. So
I didn't ever think that he ever saw me.
Are you
Yeah,
blushing?
I am. I'm like I'm hot now. I'm like, yo, can somebody give me a water?
I don't know if it was on Twitch or what, but I was like, oh wait, Eddie's like an actual DJ. This dude's killing it.
Wow.
Even
Holy
the show
smokes,
is kind of
man.
next level. Like, because I'm a Stern fan, and like, to be able to have Sandy over there like pop up a picture, that's like this is next level right here. I
I
like it.
appreciate that, man. Thank you. You know what it is, Joe, is I try to put my best foot forward every time.
Yeah.
Like,
I can tell.
Like everything. If I don't, like, it's not me, honestly. And I mess up constantly. So people are like, "Oh, you got this,
Oh,
you got."
yeah,
No,
we both
man,
do.
I can't tell you how many times I messed up. Anyways, let's get into some more about you. I recently heard, man, I'm not going to be able to get over that, just so you know. Like, I started shaking right now. He's like, he heard me DJ. I was like, what? Like, I hope I did good. Like, I hope I was
No, you
on
did.
point
You did.
when I
I
was.
No, I was like, oh, okay, he's that guy. Like, this
Yo-
guy can play. Okay.
She tells me the other day, my birthday's coming up, so they called Chris Villa and they said, "Hey, Chris, would you come on the show?" So that's something in
Yeah.
the works. I don't know if you've
Yeah, I
heard
love
DJ Chris
Villa.
Villa.
Yeah, I
he
love
was
Chris Villa.
listening to me the other day, and they didn't want to tell me, and I was like, "What do you? I idolize this guy,
surprise.
bro. What is wrong with you?"
He is awesome.
Yo, he's talk about next level. That guy is a beast.
Yeah, it's funny. I was on some podcast or something with like Roland and somebody, and this was like 2 months ago or something. And I looked, they were like, "Yeah, it's you and Miles Medina," and I'm like, "How am I on the same bill? What?
Do I go first?
What are we talking about?" Like, and they were like, "Well, you're more the mobile guy." I was like, "Okay, I just want to make sure that like we're not like getting into like technical DJing. Like that's yeah." I'm on
It's
the
not a
same
DJ
podcast
battle.
as Miles Medina. Like, yeah, like are we just talking? Okay, I can do that. Yeah.
Like, a lot of guys were laughing on one of your shows. I said, "Hey, I would love to, go one-on-one with."
Yeah.
And people were like, yeah, this guy's a joke. And I was like, no, like, I would actually, like, he's very, similar to the way I DJ. I would love to, collaborate with him and, go at it. Sometimes when you battle another DJ, you learn things and you actually get
man.
like super close to them, like uber
Sure.
close. Like, I wouldn't
Sure,
battle
sure.
conflict. You know what I mean? Like, it's just another
Right.
level. Or like
Right,
Obscene or Chris Villa, but like
Sure,
Starjack is really good. And he's a solid DJ, and he's eclectic with his music, so I love it. I would love to just go one-on-one with him. Anyways, I recently heard you did about 400 events per year. Do you handle most of these calls alone, or do you have a team that helps you?
That's a great question. I actually did handle it pretty much all on my own until the vault launched, and then that became, honestly, Eddie, that became my job, was to create content and create a community and retain membership, you know what I mean, by putting out good stuff. Right. So I've had this guy, Randy Bennett, with me for 19 years now, and I think he was a realtor and obviously DJ for me much more than I even play. And that's not me doing 400 shows. That's the Raleigh office, by the way.
Right.
And I just said, Randy, man, you know, if you're not enjoying being a realtor, man, I would love to have you here doing the, you know, things that I don't have time to do anymore, responding to emails and so on and so forth. And so I basically brought him on, you know, full time to handle a lot of the admin stuff. And then, you know, one of the perks is he is able to still book himself, you know, like he takes the calls, and if he's got that date open, like obviously he gets priority of that lead. And he just, man, he's a soldier. I mean, he's been, like I said, 19 years now, and he's just still, he definitely does more shows than me, and he could honestly be more requested at Bunn DJ Company than Joe Bunn, which is fine with me, man. He's awesome.
Yeah, you know, that's awesome, man. That you put your guys, you know, in the forefront. And Joe Bunn is, you know, just one person, but the Bunn Company is bigger. You know what I mean? It's more than Joe. And that was really hard for me transitioning as a DJ. Was it hard for you?
It was, man. This has been now 20 years. So now it's, you know, take a step back, man. You're getting older, chill out, take some weekends off, take some weeks off, you know. But, you know, 20 years ago when there was one or two DJs instead of a whole roster full, it was, you know, go do all of it. You know, do the fashion show on Tuesday, go do the bar gig on Wednesday, go do the club on Thursday, do a, you know, rehearsal dinner Friday, go do a wedding Saturday, and then start all over again the next week. And it was just, I mean, that's fine when you're 25, not when you're 49. You know what I mean? That was, I wasn't exhausted then, but I'm sure I would be now. And kind of pivoted out of that do it all when I had kids, you know, 15 years ago. And so, but it is very difficult, as you know, to scale up a DJ company because you want clones of yourself. You know what I mean? Like you want 15 Eddies running around Miami, you know, because you know that you deliver a great product and you can control Eddie. You put 15 other egos out there on the street, it gets a little bit difficult sometimes. So I've just been, it was very difficult, yes, to release that control. But once you do start to find what I, you know, would consider soldiers, DJ soldiers, it is really the perfect storm, the perfect formula.
Would you say that you made yourself way better once you had a team of DJs? Or do you think that the pressures of having multiple DJs out there was worse? There's a lot of DJs that are actually afraid to get other DJs out there.
No, man, I was I mean, listen, have I lost guys in the past and they said, I'm going to bury you, so on and so forth? Yes, I've it's been a while, you know, knock on wood, but I've definitely lost guys that I trained up. But I never had that trepidation or fright or fear of sending out other DJs because they were just going to eventually, you know, come and take over Bunn DJ Company or start their own thing. I never had that feeling. I just, you know, I've been super lucky in that most of the guys have stuck around. I mean, I've got guys 12, 15, 16, 19 years, you know, that have been here. And then the last few guys, I was saying this to somebody earlier today, that I've hired are you know, 25 to 30-year-old, and that's going to be the next generation of DJs here at the company.
Awesome. One of the great things that you did in the Vault was you separated everything in the business. You basically broke down the business and put it on paper. You were able to grab what the concept of DJing was and make it into something that is marketable, sellable afterwards, that you can actually take this business and hand it over to somebody and they're able to take over that business. So you made your business marketable to be able to sell. And that's something a lot of people don't understand about business, that if you sell yourself, then you cannot sell your business. No matter what you called it, no matter how big of an event you did, if you're a one-trick pony, then you cannot, you know, monetize on that afterwards. So in actuality, Bunn DJ can be sold to somebody, and with all the manuals and training that you've done, you're able to give that to another owner who has no idea about the business and still be able to run it.
That's right, man. I mean, that and again, man, that's how those other offices are. Other Bunn DJ Company offices are in 5 other locations. You know, number one, the owners of those companies worked for me. Then they licensed the name, licensed the brand, and I make a little bit of money. But I mean, you know, I think at the end of the day, the thing I'm most proud about those other 5 offices is that now those people have a career as, and that's how they support their family. That's their career now. And they get to wake up just like you and I do every day and feel excited about what they do versus probably 95% of my friends that I went to college with are miserable. You know what I mean? They're job hopping and they might make more money than I do, but they're miserable or always on the road or never see their families. Like there's a value, you know, there's a price you put on your quality of life, I guess.
What is some key points that you look for in a DJ? Like, I know that you mention it, but looking from the outside, there, like you said, there's something that other people can't do. Run the business like you would. No matter who you have on your team, probably have some really great guys that you have go-tos that are very creative, but they'll never really treat it the way that you did. So what are some really amazing things that you look for as far as the DJ is concerned, and some things that you would say, hey, DJs need to step this up in order to become a little more successful in what they're doing in their craft?
You know, a lot of it is in that first one-on-one interview after I've kind of put them through like some online things, you know, send them a questionnaire, see if they even send that back. You know, some little tests before I even waste my time getting in face-to-face, because, you know, that's going to be an hour of your time blown if you just pull in every random off the street to interview. And, man, honestly, it is almost more about the person and the personality, and are they good people? You know what I mean? Am I going to be able to send this guy out to, you know, a $200,000 budget wedding, and is he going to be able to deal with the mother of the bride or an unruly guest or, you know, a girl that's having a bad night? Is he going to, you know, get tipped like I do 90% of the time before I've even played a record? You know, like it's almost more, I want to see a good person first, and then I can kind of mold the DJ part. Now, I will back up and say this. When I put out an ad for DJs, whether it's on, you know, Indeed or Upwork or whatever, I am looking for experienced DJs. I want you to have played somewhere. Like, I want the guy, you know, in my town that either has his own site and it's just him and he's not getting enough business, or I want the guy that doesn't want to have anything to do with contracts and marketing and just wants to go out and play every weekend. You know what I mean? I'm looking for those kind of people. It is, I can't remember the last time I hired somebody and then trained them all the way from the ground up. Because I believe you can teach an old dog new tricks. You know what I mean? And that they are moldable, even if they're doing some things that maybe I don't like. By the time they've gone out with me and some of my veteran DJs like Randy, the next thing you know, they've kind of modified their show. Right.
Do you require your DJs to have a business for their 1099 purposes?
Yes, exactly. And they have to turn in an invoice, and, you know, they treat it like a business. But every DJ that works for me, other than Randy, which we spoke about earlier, is employed by someone else. So I've got an electrician, I've got a software salesman, I've got a plumber. You know, like, these guys work pretty much just the weekends for me. Weekend warriors, truly. Super awesome. And again, they don't want to deal with the business. You know, they don't want to have to deal with the marketing and the, you know, do we need to pay for an ad on the wedding wire or the knot or what? You know, that is not what they want to do. They want to go out, they want to rock on Saturday, and they want to get a check on Monday.
And they have their own equipment. They bring their own
stuff.
That's
right.
They do their own setup. Do you have a requirement for their setups?
Of course.
Do they have to look a certain way?
It's got to look a certain way, sound a certain way. There's certain brands that I'm basically steering them towards, you know, and I'll help people get the right stuff. I've even done financing for guys that weren't, financially able to do it, and just said, look, you can just work it off in the next 10 jobs or whatever. But yeah, you have to have a certain level of gear to go out and be under
represent Joe Bunn.
Exactly.
Do you have gear that they can use, that they can pick up
do.
from your facility?
Yeah, I'm in the studio now, and then we've got there's no warehouse. There's a couple of basically oversized walk-in closets. One of it's full of vault stuff, and the other one's got probably 150 uplights on their chargers right now, and then a few more subs, some Evolve 50s, just some small gear. The only thing that guys really pick up from me that they're not required to have is those uplights, and those go out like in groups of 16. So 16. They'll come and grab those on the weekends.
That's awesome, man. And a lot of people don't make that misconception. You say it in the Volt is, you don't need a big warehouse, you don't need a big office to make this happen. You don't need a big showroom in order to be a multi-op company. And I think a lot of DJs need to hear that. I think a lot of DJs need to hear those things. Do you find emceeing to be a vital point in DJing?
I do. I think that
is that a deal breaker for you if a guy can't MC properly?
Yeah, it would be, because we always go out one person. So I did have a husband and wife team, and the wife was actually the MC and the guy was the DJ. God, that's probably been 15 years ago. But we always go out by ourselves. The setup guy is the DJ, is the MC, is the breakdown guy.
He's everything. It's
just one person. And yeah, it would be a deal breaker for me if they couldn't MC. Now, listen, again, there are varying levels of MC, and I feel like I'm probably about a 5'6", and that's probably where most of my guys sit. I don't really have the guy that is like super polished. I don't want to say not polished, but like the guy that's really going to be just the Ryan Seacrest of the mobile DJ world, out on the dance floor, leading dances, incredible rhythm, like Mr. Do-It-All. Number one, I don't have him. And number two, man, this is not New Jersey. It's not Miami.
For hire.
Right, exactly. And listen, have I for sure been interviewing a couple, or they're interviewing me, and they go, look, we want the kid dynamo out there that is going to rip it all and do. And I'm like, and there are a couple guys in this market, and I'm like, you know what? We're not the right fit. Just like when people call for mitzvahs, we're not good at mitzvahs. You know what I mean? I like my own kids. I don't like anybody else's kids. I don't want to go do that show. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like your kid. Like my 12-year-old is just I can barely deal with him. I don't want to deal with your kids too, man.
That's funny, man.
So I tell people, I'm like, hey, that's not what we do. I got this guy Brian, he's really good. This guy Ryan is good. Like, and I have no qualms passing that show to somebody more adept. Spanish DJs. I told you that before. I think I'm the worst Spanish DJ in the country. Horrible.
Really?
Horrible.
No. Wow, man. I got you.
It's not that I don't like it. I know.
I'm putting you on game.
I got to get it together, man. But I'm being honest with people.
And that's a good thing.
Now listen.
A lot of people think that they have to get every single event
take
that
it
comes
all.
to their door.
Yeah, no.
That's
hell
a
no.
bad,
That's crazy.
Bad idea.
It's a bad idea, man. It's a terrible idea. Now listen. Mixed couple, whatever. Bride loves Spanish music, salsa, merengue, bachata, whatever. And the guy wants Guns N' Roses, Black Eyed Peas, and Nelly. Okay, I'm your guy. I can go back and forth. But if you're like, look, hardcore Spanish crowd, probably need to be sort of bilingual. Like, I'm like, nope, not your guy. Nope. Not your guy. Or even Indian weddings. Every Indian wedding I do is usually mixed.
Those are really tough, man.
They're tough, but
super
all Indian
hard.
weddings tough. But if they just the music's incredible, and that like 128, like that stuff slaps. But I couldn't play it all night. You know what I mean? I can go back and forth. If you want just kind of that top 40, that pop and that, I'm your guy. And every time I go and do an Indian wedding, and they're always big, and I'm sure down there they're even bigger. They're 300-400 people. Every
it
time
goes
I've been on
7 days long.
Oh yeah, no, dude, it's a production, and even up here, it's like it's several days.
Yeah,
and I'll go
crazy.
and show up for the dance, for the reception, and I've played 3 over the last 3 years, so about 1 a year that I'll do, and every single time I've been loading in, and they've already had some big morning party, and it's kind of between, and everybody's changing clothes. Every time I'm walking in, somebody will go, "Are you the setup guy?" And I'm like, "No, I am the guy," and they're like, No, not you. And I'm like, I got this. Like they're genuinely worried that I'm not an Indian DJ. And I'm like, I promise you, I'm
the guy.
I'm the guy. Give me that first 15 minutes. I'm gonna show you I'm the guy. And every time they come up, they're like, you were right. You got it. I'm like, dude, I didn't come in here unprepared. I'm ready.
That's so awesome, man. That's
Are you the setup guy?
Oh man. When I first I was like you, man, I want to say I started when I was 12.
Yeah.
And I have been doing it since when I left to the military in 2012. And I was on top of my game when I left to the Coast Guard. So when I came back, people were shocked. First of all, they were like, "Oh man, he's back. Are you going to keep going? What are you going to do?" And I pivoted. And one of the things that I learned was exactly what you said. Don't do it all. And now I have a team that sets up for me, and a team that sets up for all of my DJs. They don't have any stress. They literally walk in and just worry about DJing.
Laptop guy. That's awesome.
And I'm telling you that one of the things for me was, making sure that every setup looked the way that I wanted. And I kind of take that really importantly for me. So my team knows, and there's a tech that stays there for them, and he takes the request. He takes whatever, brings them water, make sure that they're good, jams out with them, has a good time, works suggestions, whatever they need. That guy is there for him. So, I like trying to put all my DJs like little rock stars. Now they take a little bit of a little bit harder hit, for their pay. Because I do have some very, very elite DJs for my team. But I was like you, man. I do turn down certain events. Like I have a DJ for multiple things. We do have our mitzvah DJs, like you were saying, they're really tough. It takes a special type of character to deal with. It does. Games and all the other stuff. And the Jewish community is a really tough community as well. Not only just with the business side of things, but even at the event, they're very demanding on a lot of things that they really, really want. And it really depends.
But once you crack into that market,
it's a big market. It's a big market.
Yeah, you're in, especially down there. It's huge.
It's really interesting, man. And it's funny. A lot of people ask, like, do you do a lot of Jewish events? And not really, because I'm not Jewish. And to be within that community, you kind of have to be Jewish. Kind of like what you said. You're not Indian. They look at you and they're like, no.
Yeah, you're not the guy.
You're not the guy. This guy's going to play bachata. They look at me and they're like, he's going to play a ranchero or something. I don't know. And I get in there, I start cutting up, Bakaram Punjabi. They're like, whoa, what is that? You throw like 50 Cent with that and you're like, what is he doing? What is he doing? Who is this guy? Another great thing that I want to talk about that you have, and this is probably the one thing that I really, really grabbed. Sandy is my marketing girl. I have a team of marketing, and I want to know, do you have the same thing, or do you just like have a couple of people that you go, because you're marketing the guy who does your videos? Let me tell you, we've had this discussion. I called a professional cinema guy to help me with doing videos like you've done, man. I mean, you do some really amazing work.
I'm sitting here looking at myself on the camera, man, and realizing I didn't do a good job getting that eyeliner off. So I apologize that I look like a lost member of of like
Kiss.
I don't know, My Chemical Romance or something like that. Anyway. Man, I have really good ideas, and there are really talented people that I surround myself with to execute the ideas. And so I usually come up with ideas, I write it, I produce it. And when I say produce it, I mean I find the venue, I build the sets, I get food if they're, if we're going to be there all day. I hire extras if there need to be extras. I do all of that. But there are some very talented videographers here that over the years I've partnered with, between meeting them in the wedding space or just seeing their work on Instagram, that they're working with some rapper that I'm following or whatever. And I'll reach out and just make that connection, start the network, usually pitch them my idea. And honestly, Eddie, you would be shocked at some of these things that look like cinematic pieces that I've spent, $100 on, or $500 on. Yeah.
Send them my way, please.
I'm telling you.
Sandy cost me more just breathing right now. Okay?
Exactly. It is, but again.
She's laughing, but she's laughing all the way to the bank, let me tell you.
It was it's just one of those things, man. It's about building relationships. It's about them wanting to do something other than shoot a wedding. And I'm like, all right, well, I've got an idea to buy a car on Craigslist, chop the top off, put a DJ booth in the back, and then fire off a bunch of illegal fireworks. And they're like,
the Cadillac.
Hey, shit, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, no, we're doing that. And we did it. You know what I mean? And the guy came down from D.C., and I met him in Vegas at some conference through Jan I. And he was, he was like, this is drunk talk at we were at whatever that one is with the chandelier, Omnia.
Oh, the
and
Omni.
Like chain smokers are playing. And, it's 4 a.m. I'm like, yo, I've got this idea to cut this car. And he's like, okay, dude. And sure enough, we got back.
Did you have the makeup on?
No, I had no makeup. I don't know. It was just a scene, and he was like, this is drunk talk. And I'm like, no, we're going to make it. And we sure as hell made that video. That's one of my favorite things we ever did. Yeah.
That is epic, man. That is super epic. Sandy, step up your game. I'm paying you for this stuff. There goes my talent.
There she went. She just walked out. I wish we could see her.
She's laughing. I promise you. She's laughing.
As she cries.
While she's reloading. Have you ever collaborated with another DJ at an event, or is there another DJ that you totally vibe out with?
Man, not really. I mean, yes, there are plenty of DJs I respect, admire, like the way they play, especially
Top
now.
3. Top 3. Come on, hit me.
Wait, are we talking like famous
Top 3 DJs.
Or more like
top 3 Dame DJs right now? Boom, hit them. Boy, he's gonna piss off some people.
ADMC.
Go ahead one more time.
ADMC, you know him?
Okay, yeah. All right, go ahead.
Buck Rogers.
He's on your team, isn't he?
Jan I in there. No,
Buck Rogers
doesn't work for me.
He's not on your
team? I wish
team?
he did.
Okay.
No. Jan I, Buck Rogers, ADMC. I'll put Jason Jan I in there.
Okay. Top 3 DJs in
I
the world.
mean, listen,
right
until
now.
we get into like chain smokers and stuff, but they're more producers. I don't know that they're really
chain smokers are not.
My
really,
hands still have that makeup on there.
He's afraid to put it in the camera. For those of you that are listening on Spotify, if you get a chance, if you're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, whatever, just go to YouTube and check out the pre-recorded afterwards.
Yes,
that's funny.
Ridiculous.
Right,
anyway,
so, I'll edit it out if you want.
They'll see the ad coming soon. Don't worry. It will blanket your feed soon.
Don't go rob a bank right now. You have your own.
No, exactly.
You leave your own.
I'm gonna start a punk band.
What were you doing? I'm curious. What was it that you're doing?
I can't.
You can't say?
You'll see it next week. Yeah, you'll see it next week. It will blanket your feed. It was an ad for the Vault. It was an ad for the Vault. Yeah.
I know Sandy.
And with Halloween coming up.
I got a question on behalf of Sandy. I know that this is one of her questions. Her question was, how or what are you using to send all the marketing out? Because she says, bro, this guy hits me up on all of them at the exact same time every time.
So
that ain't no chipmunky. No.
It's so the Vault is built on with Kartra, Kartra. So when you build a teaching website,
do you hear the pen? Did you hear the pen?
Yes. When you build an educational website, there's like 3 or 4 people in that space, Teachable.com, Kajabi, and then we use Kartra. And so Kartra is able to keep track of all of our, leads, all of our customers. So I can segment the list. If I only want people that have access to the membership, I can send to them. If I want to send, a text to all the people that quit in the last 30 days, I could send to them. If I want to send to people that only bought, this part of the course, I could send it to them. And so that's one of the main reasons why we use Kartra, Kartra. If you're ever building a educational product, I recommend
Go ahead,
it.
Say something. You got to say something.
I got it. Thank you so much. I was
Yes.
so curious about that. I would get so many text messages and emails, and I'll be like, how does he do this?
Yes. I'm sorry.
So it's working. It's working.
It does. Yes.
I saw the post that the guy was like, can somebody let
yeah.
Joe Bunn?
The reason why he posted that is because I quit that group and he thought I wouldn't see it. So by the time somebody sent it to me, I wrote a nice response. I said, here, just post this in the group. Tell him to shoot me an email. I'll get him off the list. Like, there's no way that guy's asked to be off the list, and I just denied him. Like, I don't want him on the list.
Well,
and by the time the guy went,
bottom.
yeah, exactly. By the time the guy went to post the message, he said he had taken it down, or somebody took it down. But
That's funny.
it was like all caps. Will somebody
Yeah,
tell
well-
Joe Bunn to quit spamming me? I'm like, wow, man.
I've learned a thing or two about having the guest in here about how you should respond to text or all that stuff. It's funny. It's hilarious. Anyways, what's the coolest place you've ever traveled to or gone to DJ? By the way, anybody who's listening live, I'll give you a few minutes. Anybody listening live, you guys are more than welcome to ask any questions. DJ Joe Bunn in the building. This is a great opportunity, guys. I know I have some really deep questions, but you guys are more than welcome to ask the questions. It's called Pass the Mic for a reason. Tell me, Joe.
It's a great name. Man, I never did, I run with Brian Bonus CC. I'm not sure if you guys have ever met face-to-face before, but Brian's a big destination DJ, and so he has a lot more, interesting stories. But I guess the one that sticks out the most, I remember when it was 99 turning to 2000, and number one, everybody thought the world was going to end that night at midnight or whatever, but I was DJing an event in
Y2K.
Sun Valley, Idaho. Y2K. Sun Valley, Idaho for John Kerry. So this was before he ran for president. And he's married to, or was, I don't know if he still is. This was whatever, how many years ago, 20 years ago. Teresa Hines from the Heinz Ketchup family. So, it's in this tent. It's obviously cold, but there was in this giant heated tent. Everything inside the tent's red, ketchup red, and they had their own fireworks over the snow-covered mountains. And it's like Schwarzenegger's there and Stallone, like all these people have. It was nuts, and I think I played maybe 15 minutes while the band took a break, and otherwise I was just a guest. I'm partying. Right. I wasn't even married back then, but the woman that ended up being my wife was with me. We were just out there just like living the dream. Like we were party guests, and this cover band covered the entire night. They took one break. I walked up there and played a few records, and then we just kind of enjoyed ourselves. And that's kind of one of the most memorable places.
Do you remember what you played?
I have no clue. It was a very older Caucasian crowd, so I feel like if I had to pull that out of the top of my head, it would have been like
it was something
Brick
with
House,
black ink around the eyes.
Play that funky music, White Boy.
Okay, all right.
Aretha Franklin, Respect.
Got it.
Signed, Sealed, Delivered, and Boogie Shoes. I feel like those would have been my top 5 pulls.
You know
right
what's
out of
fun?
the gate.
I still play almost all of those songs.
I do too.
Every single one. Every one you mentioned.
Absolutely.
I will play that at a hip hop crowd,
slap.
believe it or not. Like I will literally play it at a hip hop crowd because I will mash it up live right there. Bomb. Just
They're
make something
timeless.
Cool. Yeah.
They're timeless.
And people know the words, so it's cool. Anyways, craziest best man maid of honor speech you've ever heard.
That's a good one. I actually found this video not long ago. So I had a maid of honor approach me, during cocktail hour, and she goes, "Listen, I need you to do something." So, man, I would have to Google this, and I didn't come prepared for that. But you remember the year that Kanye bum rushed Taylor Swift at the?
With
and
Beyonce.
he said-
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Yeah,
When Beyonce did not win for Single Ladies, I guess. And it was that year. So whatever year that happened, Sandy, you can Google that on the side.
There you
and this has been many years ago. And she came up to me during cocktail hour and she goes, "Hey, I'm going to give my speech, but about 3/4 of the way into it, when I say this certain line, I want you to run out and interrupt me like Kanye." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Trust me, it's going to go over so good."
Oh boy.
And then I want you to drop Gold Digger.
Oh boy.
And I'm like,
oh no, this
and
is
I was
not
like,
good.
I don't know. But dude, it did go good. So right at this line, I put my shades on and I ran out there and grabbed the mic out of her hand. And I go, "I'm gonna let you finish," or whatever he said. He goes, there was a video of it too. Somewhere.
Taylor, I'm gonna let you finish,
listen.
but Beyonce had one of the
Yeah,
best videos
right.
of all
said-
time.
and maybe I said something like her friend, had the best speech of all time or something. And then I think I did have somebody with me that night, maybe shadowing me. And I looked back at him and pointed, and he, and just dropped Gold Digger, and the place went nuts. It actually went over like gangbusters, man. But I remember, my pits were just sweating when I was like, she's giving this toast. I'm like, am I really getting ready to run out there, and interrupt this girl? But she wanted it, so I delivered.
She told me to do
Yeah.
this. Why is everybody looking at me crazy?
People went nuts, man. It was because it was super timely. What was it?
2009.
Oh yeah, man. 11 years ago.
I was going to say
it was
2010,
super
but
timely.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it was super timely too. Like it had just happened, and this maybe was like less than a month after that whole debacle at that award show, and
Yeah.
it just went over like fire, man. It was great.
All right, hit me with the worst Bridezilla story. Or Groomzilla. There's some Groomzillas.
There are. Man, Eddie, I know you're gonna be like, come on, bro. I have been so lucky that I'm not. Dude. If I can't think of it now, listen. I distinctly remember last year.
Okay.
I had been on a grind of more shows than I normally did, and I maybe even did like 3 that weekend, which I just don't do that anymore. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I started playing the open dance set, and I was about 3 songs in, and the bride came over to me and was like, "What are you playing?" And I was like, "I'm playing your list." She was like, "I didn't pick any of these songs," and I realized that I was playing. Yep, that I was playing like the next night's list. So she must have heard something that was on her do not play. And later I admitted it. I admitted it later. I said,
but that's
not
a Bridezilla.
Yeah, but she did kind of get shitty with. I'm sorry, I know.
It's okay.
I know
It's all right.
curse.
You're good.
She kind of broke nasty, and later, like much later, Eddie, like way too late to bring it back. Like let's say 30 days later, she was like, "Hey, I've been thinking about that, and I want some of my money back." And I was like, "Wow, yeah." So I wrote her a check back for a few $100. And when I'm telling you, I was 3 songs in. It wasn't like I was deep in the mix.
Right.
Like I immediately go, "Oh, snap! I'm on the wrong list," and I pivoted. So maybe I played one song that she didn't like or something. But
okay,
yeah.
here's the master question though.
Was
Did you
nuts.
give her a
Yeah.
discount, or did you do the additional 500, 1,000 for Joe?
Oh yeah, I always get that. So
Okay.
I mean,
All right,
I always
make
get
sure.
a premium from me. Yeah,
Right.
but I definitely wrote her a check back for a few $100. And was
All right, Sandy,
like,
can
I
you
just don't
get one
wanna
of
do
the can you get me one of the packages that I did? Do you have one handy real quickly? I just want to show them. If not, if you can get it on the computer, and I want to show them real quickly. So there was something that I took away from the DJ's Vault, and I just want to show a lot of the guys here locally, and kind of show you for the first time. I don't think I've ever shown you as well. Have you ever received a negative review, and how did you react to it?
Yes, for sure. And I think, I mean, number one, you take it personally. You know what I mean? Like it is something that 100% you take personal. I have found whether, and again, I'm sure I've had a negative review at some point, but as with anything, even if one of my guys happened to get a negative review, there are 2 sides to every story. And that is one of the most the biggest lessons I've learned as a mobile DJ company owner is that there are definitely two sides to every story. You know, you've got the client saying one thing, and of course, as the owner, you're like, okay, customer is always right, but you know, you also want to protect the people that work for you. You know, so I call them up. I don't call them up cussing them out. I call them up, hey man, you know, Mrs. So-and-so called and said that you did this, that, and the other, and you forgot to play this at the wedding, or like walk me through what happened. And normally their story is wildly different than what happened. And so it's like, okay, well, maybe those people didn't hear their songs because they were out smoking cigarettes on the deck, you know, and they're not going to admit that. Maybe they overspent on their budget and they're trying to get money from small business Joe Bunn, you know, like you just never know exactly when people complain, like what's really going on.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you've
it
seen
is very rare that something has been a disaster. Listen, have mics dropped out of the ceremony? Absolutely. And I feel like that was probably the negative review I got, and, you know, and then ever since then, I've just been buying, like you, Eddie. Actually, I'm not as bad as you, but buying really nice gear. I'm not nearly as bad as Eddie. Eddie buys the really nice. Eddie's like really, really, really nice.
Nah, man. You know what it is that I'm.
You're doing different kinds of stuff. You're doing production, like big stuff.
I get, you know, it's funny because I one of the things that your market's way different than mine. I've been to your market before. I've DJ'd in a lot of different places. You know, thankfully, I'm very, you know, happy that I was able to do things like that. But I do have to say a few things here. I recently got the Martin Audio, right? But for years, this is the part that nobody sees. They see now. Like you see now. You didn't see the grind beforehand. But I started with Yorkville, and Yorkville made my company. And when DJs ask me, like, what do you think about Yorkville? Oh, it's too heavy and this and that. And I listen to them complain. I'm like, listen, the one thing you need to learn about business is that you need to grind. One of the things that I took away from what you said was, you know, I do it out of my little, you know, closet size office. Listen, what you need to understand is that you don't have an overhead. That's what people miss, that part. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a massive overhead. You know, I've been able, luckily, to, now I have, you know, a couple facilities, and I got a couple thousand square feet of building, and I have an office and all that good stuff. But I only did it because my clientele, you know, I pushed for that clientele. I pushed to go into that market. You know, being the 2020 Super Bowl DJ, it was super cool, you know, but cool. I didn't get the gig on my own. You know what I mean? Sure. I had other people that kind of pushed me into that zone. There's been some really radical stuff that I can't even talk about. Like I had non-disclosures about.
Sure.
You know, I'm sure you've been there. You can't take videos and pictures of some of the really amazing things that you've been at. That story that you just talked about, like that would be like a top thing that you'd want to talk about and brag about in the 90s when there wasn't Serato, you know, when there wasn't, you know, you're rocking CDs or turntables.
There wasn't even social media. I don't even, I wouldn't even have known where to post it if I could post it because it didn't exist back then.
The bargain trader or something.
Exactly.
You know, so those are some things that DJs need to realize, that, you know, when people ask me about Yorkville, and I'm a Yorkville rep, I love Yorkville. They were an amazing company for me for a long time. I bought 12 units, you know, 12 speakers over time. You know, I started with the EVs. I started with, you know, Hank speakers. I started with custom built boxes and, you know, carrying lugs of equipment and the same things that you talk about, Joe. And people just don't understand the business side of how you develop and grow. And so when somebody like you comes out and inspires others, you inspired me, you know, to teach my guys. You inspired me to, you know, go out there and teach the you know, the next group of mobile DJs. And what I do is I take my production side and I help them do that. I say, hey, don't buy, you know, this speaker. I'm not going to name a brand. Don't buy this speaker because you need to get started. Come rent it, and I will help you build your business repertoire so you can get industry standard stuff, so that when you go to resell, it's still going to make you good money and you can grow your business.
Yeah.
You know? So don't do those mistakes. Don't make the mistakes that I already made. Don't buy. Again, I was gonna almost say it. Don't buy XYZ mixer, XYZ speaker, so that you have to get there. There's nothing wrong for those DJs that did it, but it's a mistake that you may make, and you're buying 2 or 3 times before you need to get to where you need to do. If you save your pennies and you utilize the tools that I'm gonna give you, you'll be able to get there. And then the veteran DJs come to me and they're like, hey, I'm tired of lifting stuff. I'm tired of lugging equipment around. It's too heavy. It's too much. Can you do it for me? I normally don't talk about my prices, but it's $350 for me to go out and do everything for you. You know what I mean? $350. I go out there, bring you 2 speakers, a monitor, DJ scrim, the equipment, microphone. All you need to walk in with is a laptop and headphones.
Yep.
And most guys are like, oh, but I can only get like $400 or $500. Well, you need to start stepping up your game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Usually the younger guys are not going to come to me for that. It's going to be the veterans that have been in the industry for a long time.
They don't want to deal with that stuff. Yeah.
Right. And, they're charging $800-900 a night to DJ for 4 hours, 5 hours. And they're like, great, I made the same amount of money that the other guy was going to make, and I didn't have to lift up a thing. And
walk in
and
with
I got
laptop.
to enjoy what I love doing, DJ.
Yep.
So here's one of the things that I want to show everybody, right? Joe, you'll be able to see it on your screen. Boom. Go ahead, Sandy. We're going to start with the corporate. Go ahead. There it is. Can you see that? All right.
Nice.
So it's very similar to what you did.
Sure.
I named all of them, and I was very creative with the verbiage. I'm sure you can't read it, but the first one says Boss Baby, right?
Yep.
So I themed everything to Miami.
Yeah.
For my corporate packages. And I thought about what you said, and I took it a little bit of a step further. What I did with my description was I envisioned somebody in a corporate office looking at this from overseas or from another destination and saying, wow, it made me laugh. This guy's personality for entertainment and everything else must be the same way.
Nice.
Right.
I love
so,
it.
the Boss Baby coladas, if you ever been to Miami, a cafecito de colada, that's really popular over here. And the Tony Montana, the big boss dog trying to take over Miami.
I love it.
Even in the description, say hello to my little friend. This
package
I
see it.
The entire team feel like the world is theirs. The world is mine. The world is yours. So, I took everything that you said. I made the a la carte on top. And in the hard copy that I have in my hand, can you go back to me, Sandy? The hard copy that I have in my hand, I laminated and I gave to my DJs. Just like you said, hey, when you go to present it, I laminate it so they can get it back, and then they're thinking about the package right then and there. And I did the same thing.
And they know the stuff. Yeah.
We started and we circled it, whatever we had to do. And then let's go to the DJ one. Can we go to the DJ one so you can see that one? This one will resonate a little bit more with you. Boom. Wedding DJ packages, right? So custom monogram, uplighting, overtime, travel, booth, photo booth, ceremony, cocktail setup, LED TV truss, dry ice, cloud, dancing, confetti, hora loca, cold spark. And there's a plethora of other things that they can do a la carte. But I did the basic things that you did. The heat, the mojito, the vice. You know what I mean? Again, Miami themed. And then we created our own little logo like you did. So
that's too cool. Yeah.
Using the company colors.
I love it. Yep. I love it, dude.
So I got to thank you for that, man. And for the DJs that are watching out there, this is just a very small piece of what I've been able to grab from Joe Bunn. So if you have the opportunity, subscribe to The Vault. It's worth it 100%. Joe is not paying me for this. As a matter of fact, I should be paying Joe to have on my show. And I endorse it, man. I really do. I really endorse everything that you're doing, bro. Honestly, I think it's a phenomenal thing. Let me ask a few questions off script here. Would you ever collaborate with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
All right.
What do you want to do?
We'll talk offline.
We'll talk off there. Happen. Yes. Perfect. Perfect.
All right. What would
you say? It's getting late. Don't ask me for something creative tonight. My creative moments have passed at like 3.
You're showing your age, Joe.
Yes, exactly.
What would be the ultimate party ever? Period. Boom. Like ultimate party.
Ultimate party ever is definitely somewhere warm. So Miami's a good start. We'll say Miami or the Caribbean.
Don't come.
It could be anywhere. Okay, Dominican. Let's go to the Dominican.
DR. All right, cool.
Yeah, DR. I'm down with that. Or Costa Rica. Any of those places I've been.
Costa Rica.
Jamaica, even. I was on
Jamaica's
a panel
tough.
with these Jamaican guys the other day,
Jamaica's
and
tough.
I was like, man, I miss those accents. How cool they are. Lots of DJs, lots of dancing.
Really, you want a lot of DJs?
I do, man. But like sets. Like I want to see you play for 45 minutes, and I want to see somebody play for 40. You know what I mean? Like It's just an all day party. Like girls. I don't know why I said girls. Strike that.
Yeah,
Never mind. I didn't say that part.
Girls. Yeah, you did.
It's just more entertainment. Like I am never.
You dirty buns, you.
I'm not really a drinker, so for me to go to a bar is like almost like pulling out my fingernails. Like I don't want to go to a bar. I don't want to sit and have a beer. Like I want to be entertained, and in between those DJs. Or in between the bands, maybe there needs to be DJs, or vice versa. Because I have seen every live act you can imagine, from the old school Stones, U2, to NSYNC, to Britney Spears, to 311, my glove compartment all summer long stays full of the printed out concert tickets, because I still print out the ticket so I can scan it.
Keep
so
the memory.
I mean, it just, any time somebody comes anywhere close to here within about 2 or 3 hours that I like even marginally, I'm going to that show. I love it, and I miss it so much this year, man.
Well, I got something good
I've
for you
watched
then.
a few of these virtual shows, and I'm just like, this is not the same, man.
I got something for you then.
What you got?
I got something for. So at the end of our season here, so at the end of the year, I am throwing a concert. Now, as you know, I have pretty much everything that I need. So I'm getting the spot. Oba Frank Lords, Oscar G, Don De Niro, Kevin Little, the other guys that I'm not talking about that we have coming on to the show. They're all going to do a live set, and we're going to donate everything to a charity. So anybody that's been on the show, we're going to do a live show with everybody that we've had throughout the season. We're going to talk for a few minutes. They're going to perform or do whatever they do. And you're going to get that dream, man. You're going to be able to do that. You're going to be able to DJ with a bunch of DJs and have your own show.
See, it's the party I was just telling you about. I love it.
There you go. And you're going to meet all the celebrities.
That's right.
Yeah,
I'm down.
And you're
I
going to
feel
have
like
your
I'm
own
a celebrity.
I'm going to make a concert
I've
ticket
made
just
it
for
on
him.
the PTMP podcast.
We just got to get you out here. That's the only thing. Hopefully you're not booked or something.
Dude, I'm not booked. I probably was, but I'm not anymore.
All right, let's get into some world topics. I know you're running out of time. What happened, Sandy?
Eddie Fernandez had a question.
All right, hit me.
Not sure if this was asked. Has anyone ever lied to avoid paying a balance?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good question. Man, we have not faced that in forever, because we always are paid in advance here. So when they sign the contract, they pay half, and then we get the balance 2 weeks before the event. And that's part of Randy's job, is to make sure that the DJ is not walking into an event until it's been paid. So it's been a long time. I don't think we've run into that in a while. Yeah.
You know, the only preface that I give is that if they do it by Zelle now, they can do it up to 2 days before, because it's the same.
Oh, okay. That's right. You're right. Yeah.
So I
nice.
allow Zelle. Yeah. That's the new thing that I did. Maybe you can incorporate that or whatever.
All
right, let's get into some world topics. Here we go. And I give them a discount too if they do that, because it's like instant cash. So
that's right.
It's an incentive, and you don't have to worry about like the credit card processing fee and all that.
Yeah, that 3%.
We'll talk offline. All right, a 14-year-old from Frisco, Texas, has just won the 2020 3M Young Scientist Challenge and $25,000 prize for discovery that could provide potential therapy to COVID-19. How do you feel about that?
I saw this story. How old again?
He's 14.
I mean, damn. I can't even get my kids off Fortnite long enough to talk to me, much less create a vaccine or whatever she's doing. Yeah. I don't know. Next question. It makes me feel like I've failed as a parent. Next. I got to do better.
Oh
Jeez.
man, listen, it's funny. I went to Raleigh. I was there for the Martin thing.
Oh yeah,
and
I know, and I missed you because I
Dude.
tore my rotator cuff.
I hope you're feeling better, man.
Yeah, I'm not. Anyway, go ahead.
It sucks.
It does suck.
I don't understand what you do over there then, because all I could find was bars.
No, yeah, I know, man. There's some amazing restaurants. I like to go out to eat, and I like to go to the movies. And normally, in a normal year, man, you have to realize we have like some amazing concert venues here. You know, from 30,000, down to 300, and I'm friends with everybody at all of them. Like, it's that's what I like to do. But this is just a bad year. You know what I mean? So that's what I like to do.
All right. Well, I guess I got to visit back again.
You got to come back. Yeah.
All right, we'll make it. We'll make it happen. The Justice Department and 11 states filed an antitrust lawsuit against Google, accusing the tech giant of illegally holding monopolies in search advertising.
I saw this too, I think. I guess that's not a shocker to me. Is it to you? You know what I mean? It's like,
well, Google's
it's
supposed to be
Google.
the leveling playing field.
Yeah, but they're also Google. Like, they own everything. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, Facebook owns the other half, Google owns one half,
Yeah.
To me, that makes it not a monopoly if it's spread apart.
So
at least some of it. I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about it to speak on it, but it's not shocking. It's Google, for God's sake.
So you think that they pivoted themselves forward? I mean, they don't even have to pay for advertising on their largest platform.
That's
So
true.
when you think about it, why would you need to do that? That's kind of silly.
I don't know.
Like, you
Yeah,
can
it is kinda
monopolize your
silly.
own product.
On your own thing, right.
On your own product, that's the biggest thing in the world.
I'm going to Google. It's kind of
I
crazy.
got googly eyes. All right, Lowe's will deliver your Christmas tree for free this year.
Nuts, dude.
Man!
That's
Couldn't
kind
get
of
them to
epic,
do it
man.
any other freaking year,
Nope.
but boy, let me
They're
tell
bringing
you.
it out this year. 2020, they're rolling out.
I want a timberman to come and bring mine. You know what I mean? Like, I want the axe in his
Yeah.
hand when he comes.
Yeah, I want that guy with the
Right? And knowing in
call it?
Miami, I'm gonna get a little
A
Cuban
beanie.
guy with
Yes.
salt behind his ear. He's gonna knock on my. Oye, qué volada! Tengo el Christmas tree aquí. Hacer it, Christmas tree.
I think you're the only one that can do that joke.
Yeah, don't worry,
You're
Joe.
allowed to do that joke.
We'll get you there. We'll get you there. I promise. If I was in Mexico, I'd be like, "Orale, vato, I got your Christmas tree here, bro."
There's no way I could ever get away with these jokes.
All right. A flesh-eating bacteria. Look how we transition into this. I love it.
Nice,
A
yeah.
flesh-eating
Smooth.
bacteria called Vibro, right? Did I say that right? Or Vibro? Is it Vibro or Vibro?
I saw this.
Lurking in the ocean, killing people in the Carolinas. So I figured this was
Yeah.
news for you.
Dude,
What's up with this,
it
man?
is
We got
news for
sharks
me.
eating us over here. You guys got some Vibro.
Yeah, I hope that's not maybe it's South Carolina. I'll throw the shade on them. We're in North Carolina. We'll just say it's down in South Carolina. It hasn't traveled up the coast yet.
Oh, man. Everything horrible happens south.
South
We
Carolina.
live in
yeah,
South
no.
Florida.
Yeah,
We were
exactly.
number one in Rona.
Yeah, yes. Y'all were killing it for a while, man.
Literally.
Congratulations.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, man. Yeah, we can cross all kinds of borders, don't we? All right. Sesame. I'm digging my own grave here. Sesame Street launches a podcast to help educate kids, gives some screen-free educational entertainment to kids who may be having spotty school lessons during the coronavirus pandemic. Some good news.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yours are grown, though, right? Yours are all grown?
Yeah, oh yeah. They're way out of the Sesame era. 12 and 15.
All right, here's a political one. You can stop me if you don't want to get into some of it. Trump goes after Fauci, says people are tired of hearing about COVID.
Did see this, man.
I love that.
I mean, he's not wrong. People are tired of hearing about it,
Right.
but that doesn't make it go away. You know what I mean? That's all I'll say about that one.
There you
It
go.
just,
All right.
I'm tired of hearing about it too. But damn, it's still here.
You want to know what's
That's all.
crazy too is Fauci spoke so well of him, and
Oh
like
yeah,
had
yeah.
this whole.
They
thing,
were boys early on, but
and now it's like
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you were around too long. It's time to.
Yeah,
get rid of
that
you.
relationship is gone.
Like
south.
the Rona, I'm gonna magically get rid of you. It's crazy.
That
All right.
relationship has gone south.
All right, so you know the song. I know you know the song. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get
I
with
do.
this, or you can get with that.
Yeah,
All right,
I do.
So that's this or that segment. We're gonna have a little bit of fun. You ready for this?
Yes.
All right, I need you to join me on this. All right, you can bob your head or you can sing with me.
Okay. Okay.
All right, here we go. On the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You can get with this.
You can get with
or
this,
you can get with
or
that.
you can get with that. You
You
can get with this,
or you can
or
get
you
with
can
that.
get with that.
This is the this or that segment, ladies and gentlemen, with Joe Bunn. So this is the part of the segment
Let's
where you
get
can
it.
choose this or that. You can't choose both, Joe. You can only choose one or the other.
Okay. Okay.
We're going to go around the room, and we're going to ask
Okay.
everybody that's online that has been quiet, apparently, the whole freaking time. It's crazy. Usually they're chatting up a storm. You made them nervous. You told them that
I
you were
made him
watching
nervous,
me DJ.
or I did come on late. Because when I saw,
No, you were good.
yeah, conflict. No, conflict. I mean, I wasn't late. I'm saying conflict was like at 5 or 6 because I remember being at soccer.
Yeah,
practice.
we actually had we were doing the transition with conflict, so it was at
Nice,
2
gotcha.
for the longest time, and then now we brought it to 8.
Maybe they're asleep. Wake up.
There he goes. All right, nachos or ranch Doritos?
Wait, is that are we saying flavor or a
flavor.
nacho?
Nacho, no, nacho flavor or ranch Doritos.
Oh, ranch. Cool ranch. Cool ranch.
Cool ranch. Sandy,
Yes, sir.
Cool Ranch.
nacho for me, nacho cheese.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
Nacho cheese.
Nacho, I knew that was coming.
All right, we have a commercial that I'm shooting with Eddie A. All right. Yeah, something coming soon. Something coming soon. Lounges or clubs?
Lounge.
Why?
No, that's bullshit. I'm sorry. Oops, sorry. Club. No, I'm sorry. I don't want to be in a lounge. It's way too mellow. I want to.
Uh-oh. I think we just dropped him. Hold on. We just dropped him. Oh, I think it's his internet.
Yep.
We'll give it a second. Maybe we might refresh him. Oh, wait. He's coming back.
I
He's
lost
coming
y'all
back.
for a sec.
There he goes.
Yep,
There he
I'm
goes.
back.
All right,
I'm back.
He's back. All right.
Club. I'm club. Like
Club.
Vegas
Why?
style or like just more sites, more dancers, more better quality DJs, more volume, more
Everything.
I can't everything.
More
Yeah.
girls. More
Lights, girls.
I can't.
Everything.
This
Scene.
guy. Bro,
a
hopefully your
scene.
wife never watches any of this.
She never watches anything I do. Zero support.
All right, Sandy. Lounges or clubs?
Lounges. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm God, I don't want to choose either one, to be honest with you.
You got to. You made it up. You said it was called this or that.
Yeah, I know. Clubs for me.
Okay.
Clubs for me. Fried Oreos or cinnamon buns? Haha, buns.
Cinnamon buns. All
right.
All day.
There's a place when you come down, if you come anywhere between now and the end of December,
Yeah.
called Nosberry Farm.
Okay.
And they make the craziest cinnamon buns, bro.
Ooh.
It's like the line is 3 hours just to get one. It's insane.
Jeez.
It's insane.
I love
Yeah.
I love sweets. Sweets are my weakness. Sugar's my
and,
weakness.
and then you get like a shake with it. Oh my god, just
Woo.
get in my mouth.
Yes.
It's just amazing. Anyways, Sandy, fried Oreos or cinnamon buns?
Cinnamon buns.
Ha ha ha! You chose it because of DJ Joe Bunn.
Buns. Joe Buns.
Cinnamon buns, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Just because of Nosberry, they just off the chain. Controller or turntable?
I'm controller. I'm sorry.
And that goes for like CDJs, etc. So
yeah, controller.
turntable
guy.
being like separate
digital.
jogs.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, controller.
Controller.
All right. Sandy, I don't know if you'll be able to answer that. What do you prefer looking at? There you go.
Oh, great question.
I like recording pictures and videos of the controller.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I
Is there a
just-
reason why?
I love the visual of it. I don't know.
The lights?
Yeah, the lights, everything. you
Yeah.
know?
Okay.
I like that.
I'm down with that.
But if the lights weren't on, which one is sexier to you?
The turntable.
yeah.
All right, there you go.
Agreed. I have to
Look at
agree with
that.
her on that.
Look
Yep.
at that. All right. For me, turntable, man. I started on
Yeah.
turntables.
I
I have them
know.
sitting right in front. So whenever you come to the shop,
I know.
Nike or Adidas?
Whew, this was a tough one. Nike. Nike.
Okay, and I know you're a shoe guy, so
I know it's the Jordan 1 though. Will just that will forever be like what you can bury me in.
You
and
got
that's
them?
Nike.
Do you own them?
I got multiple of the Jordan 1s.
And that's the one with the bird, right? The one with the eagle
the
wings.
Yeah, the wings.
Yeah, the eagle wings.
The wings.
You know, he talked about it on the Netflix series. He said, "I try to wear them. I try to wear them later," and he goes,
"Yeah,
my feet were bleeding."
Oh, bleeding! Yeah, that was nuts. I saw that.
It's crazy.
I love that documentary. The Last Dance. That's what it was called.
Yeah, The Last Dance. It was a great documentary. Sandry,
so good.
Sandry.
Sandry, Nike or Adidas.
Nike or Adidas?
Nike. For sure.
Right. Nike for sure. All right. Yeah, Nike. Nike here for me as
Okay.
well. Cold weather or hot weather? Now, that's interesting because you're in the Carolinas.
Hot.
I feel you, dog.
Too easy. Too easy. My sister lives in Montana. I'm like, I ain't never coming out there.
I had to live in Virginia for a little while. Yeah. They wanted to send me
And that ain't even cold. Like
Valdez, Alaska. They wanted to send me to Valdez, Alaska.
Oh, my God.
And I told them I would literally show up here with cocaine in my nose if you send me to Valdez, Alaska. They laughed.
No.
They thought I was joking. I was dead serious.
No.
So they didn't do it.
Yeah, you're serious. Yeah.
I was dead serious. I don't do the cold. It's not for me.
No, it's not for me.
It's not even for the birds, apparently. So,
It's terrible.
Sandy, cold weather or hot weather?
Hot weather. I cannot handle a cold.
Yeah. I like turning on the AC. It makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Razor or BlackBerry phone? I picked this one personally.
That's tough, man.
Hello, Moto.
I think that Crackberry was it for me. I loved it. I'm gonna go with the Crackberry.
My man.
Ditto. I'm gonna definitely go with the BlackBerry.
My man. Boy, BBM was the ish.
Dude, there's a guy inside the vault that is strictly still BlackBerry.
No.
To this day. Oh, like the newest model. Like his name is William Day, Daye, and I'm telling you, the dude is strictly Crackberry. They still make them, and he has the hottest, newest one. Still got the full size keyboard, whole
Can
thing.
he FaceTime with that thing?
I don't know. There can't be FaceTime on there.
There's
There's no way because that's like proprietary. He's got to have like WhatsApp.
Who is he BBMing at this point?
I don't. I'm telling you, man.
Is there like a meetup
William
page
Day,
for
Crackberry like hangovers?
Yo,
Carryovers,
talk about not being able to let go.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I bet you.
I feel like he and I think he keeps them like so he has like the last 20 or so. Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell him I
love him
weirdo,
for it.
Bro.
I will.
That's
I will.
crazy. That's insane. All right. Trending fun interactive questions. You got time? Yay or nay?
I got 10.
10. All right, cool.
Minutes?
We're gonna do it real quick. Here we go. Who are the 3 greatest living musicians in your book?
Oh my God, that's impossible. Can we go to the next?
All right, next one. What is? I'll let that one mellow out. You got the paperwork, right? You got this?
I did, but I just didn't
even look at it.
I didn't think we'd get this far down in the show. I didn't think.
What is the funniest joke you know by heart?
I don't even think I do. I'm the worst at jokes because people tell them, and then I laugh, and then it just goes right out of my. Yeah, even
Nothing.
like the short ones, like nothing. And Randy knows a trillion, and they're all those terrible dad jokes.
Yeah, I've listened to some of them, bro. It was actually funny. A few of them made me laugh. Others, I was like, why did he segue into this?
I'm the worst at this.
All right. What is the most embarrassing thing? He's running this. He's like, I had 10, bro. Move on. Let's go. What's the most embarrassing thing you have ever worn? He's already laughing.
Oh, that's easy. That
right.
is easy. It was down there, and it was New Year's Eve, and I had on
down there where?
I feel like triple leather in Miami. I had on leather
You were
pants.
in leather pants.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Whose
I had
man's
on
is
leather
this?
pants and a leather jacket, and I feel like one of those silk shirts buttoned all the way to the top.
No.
And it was yes, sir. Yes, sir. In Miami,
that ended
of
up
all
being a
places.
sham wow by the end of the night.
Dude, my nuts are soaked. I mean, it's just a bad. Sorry, Sandy. It was just a bad, sweaty scene.
He had a
Triple-
swamp.
triple leathered
He had a
out
swamp
with a-
going down. He's like, you guys have the Everglades, so do I.
Dude, I totally found that picture recently. I was like holding up like a number one hand, like walking down the street, and somebody got a picture of me.
You got to send that
Triple
to me
leather.
so that we can put it
I've
up.
got to find that.
We gotta
So
put it up.
bad.
All right. What is the weirdest thing you have seen in someone else's home? I love when it hits you. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love watching the reaction. It's like
this is
you're in like
actually
heavy
in my-
thought, and then all of a sudden,
Bro, this is in my own house that I grew up in. My parents still live there, obviously, and when I was a little kid, there was one of those giant sea turtles washed up on the shore, dead. And somehow my dad convinced me to help him take this turtle's shell off its back. I mean, it's as big as a 6-foot table. Yeah, it's 5 or 6 feet long. We took it off the turtle with some random knife like a redneck would have in his truck. We put it in the car. We drove it home. We put this stuff called borax in it that basically ate all the like whatever meat that was left in it. I swear to God this happened. We left it outside.
what's going on right now?
For a year. And eventually it was to the point where, it was safe to bring inside. He brought it inside. He like polyurethaned it. And it's literally hanging on the wall in the home that I grew up in.
Is it
a
still
giant ass turtle? Yes. I saw it last Christmas when I was home. A big ass turtle shell. That can't be legal.
It's not. It's really not. I don't even
can't
know why
be.
you're telling this story.
I don't either. Look, my dad's name is Joe Bunn. If you want to go arrest him, same name. He made me do it. I was a little boy.
Because he strung you up with the rope that he was making at the office.
Dude, I'm telling you. What?
Yo, that is insane.
Priscilla
man.
says we need
Trust
pictures
me.
of that.
Priscilla. So we got people now. People want to talk about it. Now people want to comment. Look at. They're like, oh well, he's letting out his embarrassing stories. We can do this. Oh man, I never seen Joe
my
so
dad's
red.
Special. My
I've never
dad's
seen you
special.
so
dude.
red, bro. You got red with black eyes. This is insane. What is
Crazy eye makeup.
What is the simplest change? This is a good one, all right? This one's going to hit deep. What is the simple change you could make in your life that would have the biggest positive impact?
Me personally, or just am I spreading this out to the universe?
What simple change could you make in your life that would have the biggest positive impact?
I think I actually made a change of being of just being more positive on social. In other words, I was really bad. This has been a couple years, so forgive me, but I was really bad about like rolling up in somewhere and taking a picture of somebody's shoes or like their outfit. Again, from the back, you couldn't see their face, and being like, "What kind of shit is this?" And I had someone call me out. What are those? Or like, "Are you really in your PJs at 10 and a Starbucks?" Like, and people were just like, "Man, that's just so mean. You don't know if that person follows you or." And I don't know, man. One day I just kind of had a check, and I was like, "Yeah, why am I doing that? It's not funny. It's kind of bullying." I wasn't showing their face. I wasn't calling them out. They weren't friends of mine. But I just realized that if whatever I was going to post was going to be more positive. Now, listen, we all have crappy days, especially this year. We've all lost a bunch of money this year. But, again, I'm still trying to travel the high road and be more positive, just in general as I'm getting older.
There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done so already, there's a change you can make. All right. I like having the balance, the funny, the everything, a little bit of everything. That's a good one. I like that answer a lot. But I got one for you. You remember when you were here in the Keys and I called you up and I said, "Hey, if you're down, I'm right here in the Keys. I'm doing an event."
Yeah, I do remember that.
That event, the photographer, you were there, Sandy. The photographer was wearing pajamas. I wanted to take a picture so bad.
Right.
So bad. Like
straight out of bed.
I know that there's a whole new turn in social media about, you gotta just be yourself and peace and all that. Listen, I there's a limit to everything. Okay.
Yes.
You don't go to somebody's freaking wedding. Everybody's dressed to the freaking T, and you go in PJs. All right, and a
That's
fanny
nuts.
pack.
Yeah.
It just
that's bad.
I was so appalled. You have no idea. I was like, I kept looking at Sandy. I was like, can you believe this? Can you believe this? Like,
That's
I
nuts,
take the
dude.
time to wrap my cables, run them behind this,
Right. Got a suit
make sure
on,
that
right.
everything looks right. You know what I
Same.
mean? Perfect.
Same.
And this B.I.B.I. walks up in here
Jackwad,
with some PJs.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
And they
awful.
weren't like regular people. No, they were like floppy, soggy PJs that made you look like you got no booty. Yeah, one of those. One of those, bro.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
wow.
rough.
It's a bad
It was
look.
rough. Anyways, what is the most badass quote from a real person you know of, if you can remember?
I mean, it can be a celebrity.
Anything. The
Oh,
one
man.
that comes.
I
you know what? These
The
questions.
first
are the
one
ones,
that comes to mind.
Boom.
Yeah. It's Jay-Z. I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
Ooh, I love that quote.
Yeah, I love that quote.
Oh, you're resonating with Sandy now. All right, you have left me and gone to Sandy. I understand.
Yes,
it must have
I'm
been the
off.
turtle. It must have been the freaking
The turtle, the illegal
That
turtle.
was the
shell
turning
got her.
point. That was the turning
That was
point.
when she fell in love with Joe Bunn.
It was between that and the cinnamon buns. All right. Do you enjoy overcoming challenges, or do you prefer things to be easy?
No, I like the challenge for sure, man. I mean, listen, the world would be a lot less interesting if everything was easy, and there's that saying, if everything was easy,
Everybody would do it.
or if everybody would do it. And I don't want everybody to be able to do what me and you do.
Can we change that fact though for losing weight though? Because that would be nice.
Yeah.
I watch you in the gym and I start breathing hard, bro. This is
Man.
yeah. Like, have you ever seen my turtle video? I think that's why Sandy was laughing back there. You never seen my turtle video? Look at
don't
when you
think
get
so.
off of YouTube. Check out
Yeah.
the playlist. There's a video
Okay.
of me taking a shot of ginger.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I was talking about how I was running and I sound like a freaking turtle, bro. Having sex. You know when they that's me, bro. That's me. Seriously.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to
Yeah.
find you.
We have pastelitos over here. I don't know if you ever had one, man. But yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, we got ropa vieja and Spanish food.
And croquetas.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. Just
Okay.
when you come down here, I'm gonna give you a little culture.
Let's
watch.
go. Look.
You're gonna-
yeah.
you're gonna
I'm,
be like,
I'm all
wow.
about the experience. I'm all about
There-
the experience. That's what I'm talking about.
One thing about Miami is
Because
we have
I've only been as a tourist, like I've never been and actually gone around with somebody that lives there.
I'm telling you, I will fly you over here and we'll make a thing of it.
Let's go.
All right. What is the most beautiful song you have a song you have heard? I don't know how you wrote that
Jeez,
question.
It's
Sandy.
impossible. It's impossible.
Most beautiful
Next.
song.
Impossible.
I was
Next.
hoping you
can't
would say
do
like
it.
Celine Dion or something. I just
No.
I thought this
No,
one
no.
would be so easy for him.
I
you know?
thought
It's
so,
not.
too.
It's not. It's not. I'm sorry. It's just you're asking me to pick a child. Like I can't do it.
Oh wow.
Can't do it. I'm sorry.
All right. All right.
I'm not gonna.
If you had, this is the last question, by the way. If you had to design the next trending shoe line, what would your signature color scheme be?
This is easy.
We did our
Easy.
homework.
Yeah, this one's easy. It's in fact, one of the coolest things I did last year was I took my sons for spring break to New York City, and in New York there's this underground bespoke Nike lab where you and whoever you're with go in this back room in Soho, I think it was, and it's a Nike authorized thing. But for hours, you sit there with two people and you design your own shoe. It costs $1,000. I mean, this was no joke.
Sandy,
Every
sign me up.
material, every material that they've ever had, from cashmere to denim, every color lace, different tips for the laces, different air bubble color. You could only do an Air Force One High, or Nike Air Max, and I did the Air Max 1.
Yeah, I would do the Air Max.
That was it. Those were the three choices. And literally, we sat there for hours. We were there so long, they brought lunch in. One guy's on the computer designing it. They won't turn it around to the very end. So they're pulling out all the fabrics, and you're saying, they're like, what do you want, here on the toe box? What do you want here? What color air bubble do you want? What color laces? What are the alternate lace colors? It is the most in-depth thing. And both of my sons and I, we had a ball. We were there for hours, never were bored. We were so into it, and I have them at home. They're kind of like my prized possession, but they're black and white and Carolina blue.
Oh, you're not at home?
That's an easy one. No. This is my studio.
Your office?
I'm still at the office, yeah.
Oh, wow. All right, me too.
Trust me. Yes, I'm still here. It's been a long day.
Yeah. We started at 8 a.m.
Yes, same.
Yeah, I feel you. People don't know that about the boss, man. We're here. We're the first ones here, the last ones to leave. Same.
Last one to roll.
There. That's it. Well, DJ Joe freaking Bunn, brother. Let me tell you, what an honor and what a pleasure to have you on the show. It was so easy to talk to you, man. Like this was a lot of fun. I really appreciate you coming on.
Man. We got to do it again. We're going to circle back and do it again like Q1 if you'll have me.
Yeah.
I'm coming down, though. I got to break this phobia I have of getting on the plane. I'm not a phobia, but it's been since February, and I just got to break the cycle and get back on a plane.
I hear you. I'm really, really trying to get out to Asia. I know that it sounds funny, but that's like it's on my bucket list, and this is probably a grand time for me to do so.
Yeah, I know.
Like you would have like a whole front row and not have to worry about,
I know, right? You're just laid out.
Yeah.
Eating chalupas or whatever you were talking about earlier. Perritos. I'm just making up Spanish words. What the hell's a perrito?
We eat dogs over here.
Pastelitos and croquetas.
Little dog.
We eat dogs over
empanadas.
here. This guy's growing turtles on his wall, and we're eating dogs. You know what?
Little dog.
Too late. You need to get home, bro. You need.
He's eating perritos. Hey, but you like my pronunciation? It's kind of.
It was good.
Though.
It was not bad. I'm telling you, by the time you leave here,
hey,
I got you.
Oh, I'm speaking Spanish. Hey, real quick, what's cabron? Like in that show, Queen. Is that like an asshole?
Yeah,
hey,
pretty much. Pretty much.
Okay. It's weird because on Queen of the South, which I've been watching now, it's an amazing show. They translate every word.
Really.
Okay, yeah, she's Mexican. The Queen of the South is. Yeah. It's a drug show, of course.
What
just happened?
No, not on Mexicans. That's what I like to watch. Like I like Narcos.
This is Joe After Hours.
This is, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Joe Bunn After Hours.
No, Breaking Bad, Queen of the South, Narcos.
It all happens in Mexico.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're all drug shows. That's my point. Jeez, that didn't come out right. Anyway, but they translate what when they're speaking to each other, but they always leave the word cabron, and I'm like, what? But I think it's because it's on like Fox or something. Anyway, I digress. It's been a long day. Thank you for having me. This has been a lot of fun, man. For real. Let's do it again.
Yeah, and we'll talk offline about doing that collabo.
Yep, right. That's going to happen. I'm definitely going to get down, and now I'm heading home.
Hopefully you can really hear me, DJ. Like really.
Exactly.
Really.
Thank you, Sandy.
Twitch. Not like Twitch.
No, thank you. Thank you for making time for us today.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Pass the Mic Podcast. Before we get off of here, I want to show everybody where to follow Joe Bunn. He has a plethora of things that you guys can go on. There's plenty on there. It's www.bunndjcompany.com. Once again, for those of you that are on Spotify, iHeartRadio, whatever the case may be, stop for a second, Google this, put it in your phone, put it in your iPhone, whatever the case, www.bunndjcompany.com, or follow Joe Bunn on Instagram at Joe Bunn, at Bunn DJ Co, Bunn Gear, the DJ's Vault. And for those of you DJs out there looking to expand your business, either you're a club DJ, wedding DJ, whatever the case may be, Bunn DJs and the DJ's Vault has something for you. I know you got crate hackers. You have a million different things that you're working a million different ways. Joe Bunn is an awesome resource to reach out. If you have any trouble getting there, look us up. If you're already listening to the show, send me a message. You can email us. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Pass the Mic Podcast. My name is Eddie G. Behind the desk, making all the magic happen is Sandy Luis. Thank you, Sandy, so much for all of your great work. Until the next show, this is Pass the Mic Podcast. Sandy, hit him with the outro.
Like us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at PTMP Live, or visit us at ptmplive.com. Be sure to hit subscribe and turn on your live notifications for more